Good morning, students. Here we start with the development of vagina. In the development of vagina, we start with a line diagram in which we show the two paramesonephric ducts. These are the two paramesonephric ducts. At the caudal end, the two paramesonephric ducts which are vertical will fuse with each other, and therefore these two paramesonephric ducts, as they fuse with each other caudally, will develop into uterovaginal canal. So therefore, this is the uterovaginal canal, and here we will mark these two structures as paramesonephric ducts, which are also known as, they are called Mullerian ducts. Lower caudal vertical part after fusion, they will develop into uterovaginal canal. And we know that now the caudalmost part of the uterovaginal canal will open into dorsal wall of urogenital sinus. So therefore, here the caudalmost tip, we will show that it will open into the urogenital sinus. So here we are drawing a section of urogenital sinus, and here we will mark this as urogenital sinus. Very simple. This is basically very simple, and urogenital sinus is lined by endoderm. So here we are going to show this lining epithelium blue color. This will serve as the endoderm. So this entire urogenital sinus will be endoderm. I will write here urogenital sinus. And over here, uterovaginal canal, which is the fusion of the caudal vertical part of the two paramesonephric ducts, and upper half we know it will develop into uterus and fallopian tubes. The lower half, the caudal part, will open into the dorsal wall of the urogenital sinus, and where it opens, that is called Mullerian eminence. So therefore, this portion over here will be known as Mullerian eminence. So what is Mullerian eminence? This is the key word over here. The caudalmost tip of the lower vertical part of uterovaginal canal, where it opens in the dorsal wall of urogenital sinus, is called Mullerian eminence. Now the entire uterovaginal canal, we know that it is the lower part of the paramesonephric duct. So therefore, it will be lined by mesodermal cells. As the paramesonephric ducts, they are mesodermal, so the uterovaginal canal is also mesodermal. So therefore, after the caudalmost tip of the uterovaginal canal, where it opens in the dorsal wall of urogenital sinus at a point which is called Mullerian eminence, there will be second stage, and in the second stage, the mesodermal cells of uterovaginal canal, since the entire uterovaginal canal developing from paramesonephric ducts is mesodermal, so therefore the mesodermal cells will proliferate in caudocranial direction, and that caudocranial direction is the direction, if I write it, mark it as this way, caudocranial direction, arrow is marked upwards. So the mesodermal cells from Mullerian eminence. And what is Mullerian eminence? The caudalmost tip of uterovaginal canal. The mesodermal cells will proliferate in caudocranial direction, and they will proliferate towards the upper half of uterovaginal canal, and these mesodermal cells will be known as the vaginal cord. They are called vaginal cord. So here, the green color which I have drawn, they are the cells of mesoderm, and they are known as vaginal cord. This is the second keyword. Please mark it. The first keyword is Mullerian eminence. Second keyword is vaginal cord. What is vaginal cord? It is a proliferation of mesodermal cells from caudalmost tip of uterovaginal canal, which is also known as Mullerian eminence. So therefore, the mesodermal cells of the Mullerian eminence will proliferate upwards in caudocranial direction, from caudal end to cranial end, and they will form the vaginal cord. these cells will proliferate, vaginal cord. And therefore, here the first, if we consider Mullerian eminence as the first step, then the second step is vaginal cord, which is nothing but mesodermal cells of the Mullerian eminence or mesodermal cells of the lowermost part of uterovaginal canal. Now we come to third step, in which now there will be proliferation from the dorsal wall of urogenital sinus, and the dorsal wall of urogenital sinus is endoderm. It is made up of endodermal cells. So these endodermal cells will proliferate, and how they will proliferate, in which direction? Again, they will proliferate upwards, that is from caudal end to cranial end, and they will naturally increase the space between the urogenital sinus and the cranial part of uterovaginal canal. But these cells which proliferate from urogenital sinus, they will proliferate initially as two sinovaginal bulbs, two columns of sinovaginal bulbs, and they will proliferate in such a way that they will proliferate inside the vaginal cord of cells. So therefore, now the second diagram if we show, please come over here, we are going to show the second diagram. In the second diagram, first we are going to show, this will be the paramesonephric ducts. Here the paramesonephric ducts which will then develop into the part of the uterus. This is uterus, upper part of uterovaginal canal, the paramesonephric ducts. So here they will develop into fallopian tubes. These are the fallopian tubes. We leave it as it is, upper part of uterovaginal canal. Now the lower part. Now in the lower part, what we show is, here, this is the uterovaginal canal, and in the most caudal segment we show that this is the urogenital sinus. The most caudal segment we show the urogenital sinus. Now what will happen in urogenital sinus will be, the cells of this sinus, they will proliferate upwards, as I am drawing. They are proliferating upwards, and these cells, as they proliferate upwards, they are called sinovaginal bulbs. So they are known as sinovaginal bulbs, and here we will mention this as sinovaginal bulb. This is the third keyword, or the sinovaginal bulb will also be known as vaginal plate. It is also called vaginal plate. And what about the periphery here? This periphery I will show with green color, and this green color, what does it resemble? It will resemble the vaginal cord. So therefore, very simple, this is the vaginal cord, and inside the vaginal cord there will be proliferation of the cells of urogenital sinus. The cells of urogenital sinus, these cells are endodermal cells. I have put in blue color. They will proliferate upwards in the form of sinovaginal bulb. Initially they are two columns. Later on these sinovaginal bulbs will fuse with each other and they will form plate-like structure. That is why it is called vaginal plate of cells. Sinovaginal bulbs, they are also known as vaginal plate of cells. They are proliferation from endodermal cells of urogenital sinus, and they will pass in the middle of, already we had drawn this structure, and this structure was the vaginal cord. Now this vaginal cord which we had drawn was mesodermal cells. That was proliferation of cells of the lower end of paramesonephric ducts in caudocranial direction. So in this vaginal cord, if I show, there is proliferation from the endodermal cells of urogenital sinus right in the middle of vaginal cord. So these cells, as they proliferate in the middle of vaginal cord, then this diagram will be there. This will be the diagram now. So therefore, the endodermal cells from urogenital sinus, that is the sinovaginal bulbs, they will proliferate once again from caudal to cranial direction, right in the middle of this vaginal cord. So these cells, mesodermal cells which were already present, they are called vaginal cord. they are mesodermal cells. In the middle, there is proliferation of sino-vaginal bulb, which are endodermal cells. So therefore, only two terminologies we have to remember throughout the development of vagina. It should be very simple. First, there will be development of vaginal cord of cells. Vaginal cord of cells, that is mesodermal. That is the lowermost part, caudalmost part of uterovaginal canal, and that is Mullerian eminence. Second, there will be proliferation of endodermal cells from urogenital sinus, which will be known as sino-vaginal bulbs. But these bulbs, as they form a coronal partition, they will form a coronally oriented partition, which is called vaginal plate. One mark question answer. Sometimes you are asked, vaginal cord of cells are ectodermal, endodermal or mesodermal. Always remember, vaginal cord of cells are mesodermal because they are derived from paramesonephric ducts basically. That is the caudalmost tip of the uterovaginal canal. And sino-vaginal bulbs or vaginal plate, they are endodermal cells because they are derived from the urogenital sinus. So once basically these two stages are over, the first stage is vaginal cord, second stage is sino-vaginal bulb or vaginal plate. Once these two stages are over, now what we have to show is there will be canalization. Now here in this sino-vaginal bulb there will be canalization of the cells, and the cells will canalize. They will canalize in such a way that, now if I draw over here, please come on this side. If I draw over here, once again, this is the upper part of the uterus, and let us draw this as the cervix, the uterus, the cervix over here, and then we show this structure as the vagina. This will be the vagina, and over here urogenital sinus and the exterior, and then we go towards the exterior. In this way we have to draw. Now here we have to fill the development in such a way that now, since the central part of the urogenital cells, if we come on this side, the central part has canalized. Now here, as there is canalization which has taken place in this region, canalization will take place of the sino-vaginal bulbs. So therefore there will be a cavity which will develop, and that cavity will be represented as vagina. Junction, that is the Mullerian eminence, the junction between the caudalmost tip of the paramesonephric duct, that is uterovaginal canal with urogenital sinus. This junction will serve as hymen, hymenal orifice. So therefore, if we come on this side, now if we come on this side, here, this is the lining epithelium. This is the lining epithelium which I have drawn, sino-vaginal bulb, endodermal cells. Then its muscular part I will draw over here. This will be the muscular part which is represented as vaginal cord, that is from paramesonephric duct over here. Then we come to the hymenal orifice. This line will serve as, if I draw in dotted line, this will serve as hymenal orifice. So therefore over here I will write this as, this will be the hymenal orifice, and central portion where the junction Mullerian eminence is canalized. So where the Mullerian eminence is canalized, that portion will be known as hymenal orifice, and its peripheral portion will remain as hymenal membrane. Then at the level of Mullerian eminence, we divide the entire vagina into, over here, this will be the upper 4/5 part of vagina. This is very important. Below the hymenal orifice, that is below the Mullerian eminence, this will serve as, now here I will write, this will serve as the lower 1/5 part of the vagina. So upper 4/5, lower 1/5 part of the vagina, and the last portion over here, this will be the external opening. Here if I put this arrow, this is the external opening of vagina. The entire vagina is now divided gross anatomically into 3 different parts. Now this is very important. So the upper 4/5 of vagina is developed from canalization of sino-vaginal bulb. So the mucous lining, now here the mucous lining of the upper 4/5, the mucous lining of upper 4/5 is developed by sino vaginal bulb, and therefore this mucous lining is developed from sinovaginal bulb, which is endodermal. What about the musculature? The musculature of upper 4/5 is developed from, this musculature is developed from the vaginal cord, and this vaginal cord is nothing but paramesonephric ducts, and therefore it is mesodermal in development. So upper 4/5 of vagina above the hymenal orifice, that is above the Mullerian eminence, it will develop from two different germ layers. The mucosal lining of upper 4/5 of vagina will develop from sinovaginal bulb, cells of sinovaginal bulb which are canalized. And these sinovaginal bulbs are developed from urogenital sinus. So therefore they are endodermal. Mucous lining will be endodermal. It is developed from endoderm, sinovaginal bulbs. And the vaginal cord of cells, that is paramesonephric cells, that is developing from mesoderm, will persist as the musculature of the upper 4/5 of vagina, that will be mesodermal. So endodermal mucous lining and muscular layer as mesodermal from vaginal cord, from the cells of vaginal cord. This is the development of upper 4/5 of vagina. Now lower 1/5 of vagina. The lower 1/5 of vagina, which is below the Mullerian eminence, this structure will completely develop from the cells of urogenital sinus. This structure will completely develop from the cells of urogenital sinus, endodermal cells of urogenital sinus. So here I can write this as, here, this is visible I think. So endodermal cells of urogenital sinus. This is the lower 1/5. I hope this is visible. So lower 1/5 endodermal cells of urogenital sinus, they will form the vagina. Lower 1/5 of vagina from the endodermal cells of urogenital sinus. Now the last portion, the externalmost opening, external vaginal orifice. The externalmost opening is called external vaginal orifice. Now this external vaginal orifice here, it is developed from genital fold. It is developed from genital fold. And this genital fold is ectoderm. The ectodermal lining of genital fold will form external vaginal orifice. This is the last sentence. The external vaginal orifice will develop from ectoderm of genital fold after the disappearance of urogenital membrane. And we know that genital folds will develop into labia minora. So the ectoderm which covers the genital fold will develop into external vaginal orifice. So this is the development of vagina from upper 4/5, lower 1/5, and external vaginal orifice from genital fold, ectodermal part of genital fold. Here we finish the development of vagina. Thank you very much.